Damien Jardina, as well as Facebook, Damien Jardina. That's where I do more of my educational videos about fat loss, muscle building, different training methods as well. Anyways, guys, fat loss, okay? Now, first of all, before we lose fat loss, I put up a post on my Instagram today, which is very, very good, which I recommend you guys to go, Damien Jardina Instagram, which I talk about fat loss. But I talk about, is it really the best time to put focus on losing body fat? Is it really the most important time to focus on body fat? Okay? If it is, great. I'm going to teach you how to lose body fat. If it isn't, perfect. That's fine. I understand during this pandemic, it's going to cause a lot of stress with many people through business, through relationships. The last thing you want to be doing is really stressing about dropping those body fats levels, really stressing about tracking your calories, tracking your macros, okay, during this pandemic. And for me, I don't think that's important about tracking your calories now and trying to focus on body fat. The more important is family, friends, getting through pandemic, my business and stuff like that. That's probably more important. So I would sit down with myself and understand, is it really, really important to drop body fat now, okay? Can I wait a bit? Can I put myself if you guys are already in a calorie deficit, maybe give you guys a bit of a rest, maybe put yourself in a maintenance, bit of a diet break, just to rest your body, to relieve, because fat loss does cause mental stress. I don't care what anyone thinks, it does cause mental stress for many people, okay? If you're tracking your calories, if you can't eat that certain food at that dinner table with your mates or a restaurant, that's going to cause mental stress. You're going to be like, I wish I can have that certain food. I wish I can have that glass of wine, but I can't because that doesn't fit in my calories. And if it doesn't fit in my calories, I am not going to lose body fat. So it does cause a lot of stress for many people, right? So maybe the best time to think about is to sit down and think, is it best for me to drop body fat during this pandemic? Can I wait till we get over this pandemic? Because the last thing to do is put yourself in a fat loss, cause a bit of stress for yourself, and obviously have the external stress during this pandemic as well. Now, for the people that want to lose body fat, take a pen and notes and let's have a chat. Now you all know losing body fat is great, okay? Leaning down, feeling good. But you gotta understand, you will feel hungry in a calorie deficit, okay? Now, the most important thing to drop body fat is to focus on your nutrition, okay? Now, a lot of people, a lot of coaches, a lot of online coaches, we don't talk about nutrition as much, okay? So nutrition is the most important thing. What you want to put yourself is in a calorie deficit, okay? Moving more, eating less, okay? There's ways to work out your calorie deficit, which I'm not going to explain because it's a bit of more of a process, but simply go onto Instagram and I explain how to put yourself in a calorie deficit. Now, you probably guys heard calorie deficit before. That's the only way you're going to that's the only way you're going to optimize fat loss. That's the only way. Calorie deficit is the number one key to making you lose body fat. Okay, obviously work at your TDEE, total daily energy expenditure. Go on Google, just write tdee.com.au. Pump out is going to aim for your age, height, weight, activity level. Okay, if you know your body percentage, great. If you're not, don't write it in. From there, it's going to give you a number. Okay, the number, how many calories you burn in the day. From there, you can either hit that number every day, which is maintenance, put yourself in a 5, 10, 15% calorie surplus, or 5, 10, 15% calorie deficit. Depends how aggressive you want to be. Okay, so calorie deficit is number one. It's going to help you lose body fat. But everyone just says calorie deficit. Keeps it plain and simple. We're going to lose body fat, calorie deficit. But there's so much more you guys got to think about, just not a calorie deficit. You got to think about your sleep. You got to be thinking about your nutrition. You got to think about, your stress levels. There's so many other factors you got to take in account to optimize body fat. Yes, calorie deficit is probably the number one that's going to help you lose body fat, but you also got to think about your sleep, your stress. So, thinking about your sleep. Sleep is so important for fat loss, okay? We all know when you get a sleepless night, you get deprived sleep. The way you wake up in the morning, right? You feel sluggish. You want to run to that cup of coffee. You want to run to those carbohydrates, those sugary meals. That's going to keep those energy levels up, which could lead into a calorie surplus, means weight gain, right? So when you have a bad sleep, your performance in the gym's, decreased. The ability to get more sets and reps or hit a PB in the gym or whatever you're aiming for is going to be decreased. It will be decreased if you have a shit sleep, okay? And most likely, when you have a shit sleep, you're going to feel mental stress as well. You're going to get more mental stress, which is going to increase your stress levels, okay? Shit sleep, more stress. More stress, you equal more cortisol, okay? So make sure you guys are aiming for 8 hours sleep a night, REM around 3 to 4, okay? 8 hours sleep is so important. Sleep is the number one kin. I'm trying to mean. That's when you rest and recover, okay? That's when you grow, boys, okay? You don't grow in the gym by lifting heavy barbells. Yes, you do, because you're obviously going to stimulate your muscle growth. But if you don't get rest, you will not grow. Very, very simple. So just understand aiming for sleep. Obviously, how to get into a better sleep, okay? There's a lot of things how to get into a better sleep, which I talk to me and my clients about, okay? Is getting off blue light. Obviously, blue light is your phone. What you're listening, guys, now is a phone, mobile device, or a laptop, computer, as well as a TV. That's blue light, okay? So at night, when you're on your phone just before bed, I know you do it, I do it as well, with that blue light, it stimulates your brain, okay? It wakes up your brain and says, hey, wake up, it's daytime, we need to get going. That's the kind of the signal it gives your brain. So it wakes up, but really, you're trying to wind down the brain to get into a deeper sleep. But what you do is winding up the brain, okay? Especially guys out there, if you guys are scrolling through Instagram, you see a good looking girl, that's going to get your adrenal system up and you probably won't be able to sleep, if you know what I mean. So guys, try and get off your phone at least 1 hour before bed. It's going to make a huge difference towards your sleep. Maybe do some journaling, do some writing, or read a book, because you got to focus on those words. You got to focus on using your brain. It's probably going to get into a deeper sleep, okay? Very important. Another major thing where a lot of people don't talk about is caffeine. Caffeine, a stimulant for the brain, wakes up the brain, just kind of very, very similar to blue light, okay? What caffeine does, caffeine stays in your system for 8 to 10 hours. A long time, right? 8 to 10 hours, caffeine stays in your system, okay? I recommend all my clients to have their last coffee at 12 p.m., okay? 10 a.m. will be great, but 12 p.m., okay, we can get away with it, because I understand we get a bit of brain fog, we need to get to work, we got the kids, pick up the kids from school. I understand a coffee is probably the best thing to, wake us up. Who doesn't love a cup of coffee in the morning? I love it too. But guys, as we all know, caffeine stimulates the brain. Now, if you're having your last coffee at 2, 3, 4 o'clock, as I'm talking about pre-workout as well, right? Pre-workout has caffeine in it. If you're having your last coffee at 2, 3 p.m. in the afternoon, obviously you won't sleep if the caffeine's going to stay in your system for 8 to 10 hours, right? You're going to be in bed, you're going to be waking up, you're going to be lying in bed and thinking, why can't I not sleep? I've been through it. You guys have probably been through it. So use your caffeine as the one to stimulate the brain, waking up the brain, like I said, caffeine. So guys, another thing is just maybe try and move your caffeine from 12 p.m. or 10 a.m. as less, okay? Try not have your coffee after 12 p.m., okay? Moderate, okay? Have your last coffee at 12, maybe tomorrow, and see how your sleep is, okay? If you guys are not sleeping well, maybe that could be an issue for you. Okay, another thing we get into a deeper sleep as well, guys, is carbohydrates. Okay, now if you guys are kind of find yourself stressed tonight, sleep, obviously stress and sleep go very important, which is my next topic. Okay, but sleeping. Okay, sorry guys, I'm gonna do my shoelace. Don't you hate when you go for a nice walk, but your shoelace comes off? You go for a nice run, which is worse. You guys have to stop and restart. But anyways, guys, what I was saying about carbohydrates, as we know. For maybe there's nutritionists on here, carbohydrates increase our serotonin levels, which is the feel-good hormone. You feel good after having carbohydrates. As we all know, if you guys had a pizza and pasta, how do you feel? I bet you probably don't feel energized. You probably feel a bit sluggish, which, okay, it's fine. You feel a bit sluggish, but you also feel very, very good. Very, very relaxed. That's what the terminology is called brain fog, okay? Brain fog is getting into that deep, relaxing mood, that good feeling mood. And that's what brain fog is, okay? That's what brain fog is. Having a bit too much carbohydrates or having some, carbohydrates going to get you into a relaxing state, okay? So, if you implement that, if you are stressed and can't sleep at night, implementing maybe 30 to 40 or 50 grams of carbs, depends on fits your calorie goal, whatever you're trying to achieve, your desired goal, can help you get into a deeper sleep, okay? Because you're going to feel more relaxed, you're going to lower down your stress levels, okay? So maybe try and shift your carbohydrates in the evening and see how you feel. You might feel so much better. You might wake up better, okay? Obviously, when you go to deeper sleep, guys, you wake up so much better, okay? Now, the question which I ask my clients, when you wake up in the morning, if you run to that cup of coffee, if you run, the first thing you do is think about, I need a coffee. Yes, it could be habits, okay? But if you wake up tired, low energy, running for that coffee, for me, it tells me you did not get into a deep sleep. If that's you, you're running to that cup of coffee in the morning. You're relying on that cup of coffee to wake you up. It tells me your sleep is not optimal. You're not getting deep sleep. You should be waking up feeling great after 8 hours sleep. Energized, no brain fog. Your brain functions very good. Those are the things that are key signals of a good sleep. Okay, so if you guys are not sleeping well, you got to maybe count, caffeine, how's your stress levels, maybe a bit of carbohydrates a night. Those things can definitely get into a deeper sleep. Okay, now a lot of people can't sleep is probably due to stress as well. Now understand this is a stressful time for all of us. This is a very stressful time for relationships, for partners, for kids at home, homeschooling. Okay, I don't have kids of my own, but I do have sisters, and I do understand my parents' stress of having kids running around the house. My parents about to homeschool, do the paperwork, and obviously the kids are just bored shitless, right? If you guys got kids at home, they're probably bored shitless. They probably don't want to do any work. They're not motivated whatsoever, but you guys probably work at home too. If you guys are parents working at home, same thing goes for your kids. You're probably not motivated as well, right? Staying at home, open up that fridge every day. So, you got to understand, you put yourself in those kids' position as well. But you guys are probably not motivated whatsoever, okay? So you got to really understand it's going to be a very, very stressful time for all of us now at the moment, okay? Now, our goal is to try and to drop that stress, reduce that stress as much as possible, okay? Now, how to reduce your stress, okay? Obviously, underline when the stress is coming from, which is very, very important. Underline when the stress is coming from, try and fix it. Now, I understand you can't really fix this coronavirus and, the laws and regulations, as well you probably love to, right? But you can't. Unfortunately, you cannot. So we've got to stick with it. We've got to put up with it. Everyone's going through it, not just you. Everyone's going through it. But our goal is to try and relieve that stress as much as possible, okay? Now, if you're trying to achieve fat loss, muscle building, if you have high stress levels, it will be very, very hard. It'll take longer to achieve that certain goal. I use the frame, stress is like a blockage. Like, when you get the plumber, you call the plumber over, there's a blockage in your pipe, nothing's coming through. I believe stress is like a blockage, okay? A blockage to achieving certain goals in your life, whether it's health goals, fitness goals, mental goals, as well as business goals, okay? Even relationships as well. The best thing is unblock that stress. When you unblock that stress, everything flows. Your digestive system's working better. Your gut health's working better. The way your body digests certain macronutrients better. When you're stressed, your body blocks everything up, okay? It blocks everything up. You get brain fog, mental stress, physical stress, your performance in the gym shit, your performance in your relationships shit, your performance of, whatever you're doing in terms of your career shit. You just feel crappy, right? You feel crappy when you're high stressed, right? And then when you're high stressed, you don't get into a deeper sleep, okay? So number one thing that people don't get into a deeper sleep is because of stress, okay? Usually due to stress, okay? So what we want to do is regulate that stress, okay? Now, as I'm going for a nice walk now. But number one is I'm getting vitamin D, which is very, very important. Vitamin D, as well as increases your serotonin levels, as well as a bit of dopamine as well. Increases your serotonin, which is, like I said, like having any carbohydrates, it's the feel-good hormone. So I recommend to all my customers, all my clients, getting 20 minutes of sleep a day will make a huge impact towards your health. 20 minutes. That's all you need. 20 minutes a day will make a massive difference. We all know after a nice 20, 30 minutes of sun, how do you feel? You relax. You just want to go into a deeper sleep, and usually your stress levels will reduce because you're getting that serotonin boost as well. Okay. Another thing could be, obviously, like I said, carbohydrates as well. Having a bit of carbohydrates before bed can help you get into a deeper sleep as well, which is very, very important. Okay. So stress and sleep, try and reduce them as much as possible. I just gave you those key tips. Try and use those key tips. If they help, great. We'll solve the solution. If they don't, message me on Damien Jardina Instagram. Let's have a further chat and see if we can address why you're not sleeping, okay? Another thing is called TEF, thermic effect on food. I don't know if you guys probably heard of this, but thermic effect on food is great for fat loss, okay? It's the ability for your body to break down certain macronutrients, okay? Now, the most macronutrients that takes longer for your body to digest, your body to break down, and requires more energy to break down that certain macronutrient is something called protein. As we all know, macronutrients are carbs, proteins, as well as fats. All of those macronutrients play a vital role in the body, which I'm not going to explain, okay? But protein, as we know, is very, very important for fat loss. Number one, thermic effect on food. So when you consume protein, right? When you consume protein, chicken, whatever, when it goes into your body, the digestive system, it takes longer for your body to break down those protein molecules before it goes into all different organs as well, before it gets distributed around the body. But it takes longer. So when it takes longer, your body's requiring so much more energy to really break down that protein molecule. The more energy your body requires, the more calories it burns, right? So yes, if you're probably thinking, when I eat, my body requires energy to burns more calories. Yes, it does. That's another way of energy expenditure, right? Energy expenditure is burning calories. Another way to burn more calories is probably have high protein meals. That's where I recommend all my clients that are trying to achieve fat loss, high protein meals is great. Not just great for thermic effect on food, help you burn more calories, as well. It keeps you fuller for longer, which is so important. Now, if you guys are trying to lose body fat, if you guys are in a calorie deficit, you will be hungry, okay? If you guys are in a calorie deficit now, you're probably craving, you're probably hungry, you're probably starving all the time. True? So what you want to do is have high protein meals, okay? It's going to keep you fuller for longer. It will keep you fuller for longer. As we all know, maybe after your workout, you have a high protein, you have a protein shake. How do you feel after a protein shake? You feel happy, you feel full, you feel satisfied, you feel great. Hey, Sarah, by the way, hope you're well. So you feel full, you feel satisfied, you feel great. And that's going to stop you craving when you are in a calorie deficit, okay? Because when you're in a calorie deficit, you're always hungry all the time. But that's a good sign. If you guys are in a calorie deficit and you are hungry, it means you are in a calorie deficit. Just put up with it, okay? Put up with it. That's the side effect of being in a calorie deficit, okay? So high protein shakes, very, very important, okay? Keep you full for longer, as well as has a thermic effect on food, okay? So guys, like I said, if you guys want to drop body fat, think about, do I really need to drop body fat now? Is this the perfect, optimal time to drop body fat? Okay? Remember, body fat, losing body fat, putting yourself in calorie deficit causes a bit more stress, things you got to focus on more. So I understand, do I really need to focus myself on a calorie deficit now and losing body fat? Or should I focus on myself a bit more sleep, improve my gut health, my digestive health, or improve my relationship with my family, my boyfriend, my girlfriend? Or maybe aiming for that new PB in the gym, or PB with maybe some push-ups and stuff like that. Think about that first. Think about where you focus your energy on first, okay? Now, if you guys want to lose body fat, great. Let's do it. Like I told you about, your sleep, okay? Try and get you to a deeper sleep. Get off your phone, vitamin D, increasing your serotonin, carbohydrates, your stress, underline where the stress is coming from. Get off of blue light as well. Get more sleep, okay? People that high stress levels, use it as an indicator they don't get enough sleep. The more you sleep, the better your performance are, the better brain fog you have, the better performance in the gym, your relationship, and the less stress you are. The better sleep you get, the less stress you are, you'll achieve your goals so much faster. I believe you. Okay, staying on that note, I did have a client once that was in a calorie deficit, but she was losing fat very, very slow. But she had a very stressful job as a lawyer, okay? She had so much high stress. Her stress was through the roof. She was getting minimal sleep, because obviously if you guys have lawyers out there, it's not an easy job whatsoever, right? What I did as a coach, we underlined, okay, she had goals to lose body fat, okay? But she was training 6-7 days a week. So what I done, I moved her training from 6 or 7 days a week to only 4 days a week. I increased her 4 days a week, which dropped her physical stress. We underlined when the stress was coming on. We improved her sleep, improved her gut health, improved her digestive health. And by all means, she started dropping body fat in the first 2 weeks. Unbelievable. That was just from increasing her sleep, dropping her, training, and bang, it was like crazy, like fueling a fire. Started dropping body fat, so much more happier with her family, with her kids, so much more happier at her job, better sleep, better performance, enjoying herself. So that's why, guys, sleep and stress, they correlate together, okay? If you have a shit sleep, you're going to be high stressed. When you're high stressed, you're going to more binging on carbohydrates, more coffees. The more coffees you have, because when you're tired, right? When you're tired, all you want to think about is pre-workout, coffee, mothers, V's, all those things, right? Now, those things, what you're not thinking about is they're increasing your caffeine. So you're in this stimulus cycle, because when you're tired, you have caffeine. When you have too much caffeine, you can't get into a sleep. So you get what I mean? So shit sleep, and your stress is through the roof. So remember, guys, stress and sleep is very, very, very important, okay? Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed that as well. I think the plover's about to attack me. So, guys, number one, if you want to drop body fat, calorie deficit, reduce your stress levels, get better sleep, get some vitamin D, try and increase your serotonin, be happy. But remember, guys, if it's not the best time to lose body fat, don't do it. If you guys want to learn more information about losing body fat, feeling healthier, getting better sleep, better brain function, have a better relationship with, with food and stuff like that, please add me on social media, which I'll link below in my comment section. Damien Jardina, as well as Facebook and Instagram. And that's where I do more of my education videos, my live videos. So if you want to learn more about these certain things to improve your life today, simply go into that and I will see you there. Anyways, guys, happy Monday. I hope you guys have a fun, productive week. Keep strong, keep safe. And yeah, anyways, bye-bye.